Welcome to week 2. You've just caught us. We just finished our ring sequence training. That's the first workout of this week. This week we're going to be doing a full week of eating. So you're going to be seeing every single thing that I'm consuming from now up until Monday night. We're on our way back to Lachlan's apartment now, and we're going to kick things off this week with the cuff capacity. Similar to Lachlan, I've chosen to substitute using a cable or tubing with the Cuban press, or would you call them just Cuban rotations? I'm not doing the initial pull and the press, I'm just keeping it to this area here. That's the only movement I can see of it contributing to the rotator cuff, so that's why I'm only doing that movement.
I feel like that sort of, this push, when you externally rotate it, you know how it gets harder the higher you go? Yeah. So I feel like it's an extra little bit of stretching, basically. So working the mobility as well as strength.
Here we go. I think that's a great weight to stick with for now, because by the 20th rep it has a really decent burn created in the rotator cuff. Near the end of it I had to try and make sure that I wasn't easing up and making sure I hit that position. Actually, when I finished ring sequences earlier this morning, I did have I felt like fatigue, a DOMS type of feel. That movement actually feels like I'm addressing that during these rotations. You notice that exercise is different from last week, which was also RYT, simply because through Niall's feedback he does it on the bench, which allows you to go down and then press it back up. Whereas last week we were keeping a static hold in different shapes. I think we might benefit from incorporating both into our workouts in the future. So we'd be looking at alternating the RYT. We're calling Craig. I consider Craig a master of the one-arm chin rope climb. Decent with the one-arm pull if he trained it a little bit more. I think he's got the concept right for how to train it. So I'm going to be utilizing his advice, if he will generously give it, to help me shape the one-arm pull program.
Hello?
Hey Craig.
Oh, what's going on?
Basically what I'm calling for, man, is started the program last week, and as you know I've got one-arm pull as a goal, and I've spoken to you about how to train it, and I just wanted to get
sorry I didn't reply to your message. I was in Newcastle.
Yeah, that's alright, man. Was there any good parks there?
No, I was with a girl, actually.
Hey!
Hey!
So, how to train it? What I'm thinking is, or what my impression was from our conversation, was a greasing the groove type method.
Yeah, well, the goal that you're going for, you want to mimic the pattern as close to the real thing as possible. Otherwise, you could do, you've seen me chin 200% of my body weight, but I still can't do a supinated one-arm chin. It's because my body doesn't know the pattern. It's not a matter of strength. What I would do if I was you, just to keep it as simple as possible, and you don't have to stress much about it, is do it every day, as often as you can, but only do it to performance fatigue, not to actual fatigue. And what I mean by that is you'll do assisted reps of that movement until your form breaks down and or the range of motion is decreased. That's it.
Are we talking positives, like assisted positives as well as negatives?
Yeah, all concentric. The negatives will actually fatigue you more and will take longer to recover from. So the concentric would be you'll be able to accumulate the most volume doing concentrics.
I'll do assisted pull-ups 3 times a day for this week, and we'll see how that goes starting out. Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
All right.
That'll go.
Awesome. Thanks, dude. I appreciate the advice. I'll talk to you later.
I'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Yeah.
That was really sweet.
Yeah. And there we have it.
Are we getting that in?
At least tell me it's getting the forearms in.
Oh, damn.
Following on from Craig's conversation, I'm going to give you an idea of what I'm going to be doing for one arm pull. Aiming for 3 times a day at separate times of the day, but ideally as much as I can without fatiguing myself. I'll be doing assisted positives for this week. I'm going to try 2 fingers to start with. That feels quite manageable. And following on from what Craig said once again, it's about drilling in that pattern of getting that scap retraction and pulling it up, keeping the elbow close to the lat. It's not about smashing it and fatiguing it, only being able to train it 3-4 times a week. Let's kick things off this week with the first actual meal. I should mention I've finished the BCAAs, which I sit during the workout, and I also had creatine and a beta-alanine combination in the morning, first thing in the morning. Now we're moving on to the first meal. We're going 5.4 meals. 5.4 are an organization that pre-prepares your meals and delivers them to you frozen so that you can conveniently heat them up. They're nutritious, they taste great, and there's no mess or clean up afterwards. You just chuck the thing in the recycling and you're good to go. 5.4 have also got on board with us this time around for Stronger, supporting us, helping to make our lives easier by providing us with 5.4 meals, and we want to help get them to you as well. If there's something that you feel like you'd benefit from, easy, tasty meals, go over to the website, put in the code, and you'll get $20 off your first purchase. What I'm having today is the deviled sausages with broccoli. They're evil, guys. They're evil sausages. Why not angels? I'm also having my vitamins and such. Before I have that meal, I've got to knock down a protein shake. This is the standard after a workout, hydro whey. So we're getting things underway, logging every single meal. We're now ready for the second ice bath. The first one was about 3 days ago. And up until this very point standing in front of you, I was, oh yeah, I'm used to it now, I'm ready to get in. And now that I'm here, I really don't feel like it again. I guess training was about 2 hours ago now, so the feelings of being pumped up, increased heart rate and everything that would make you feel like this is the ideal thing to do has gone. Thermometer's sitting at about 10 degrees. You ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
Ready when you are.
Alright, start timing it.
Control it, you big teddy bear.
Alright, so what we're going to do for this ice bath, to make things a bit interesting, is we're going to call our good old friend FITNESSFAQS. I know you guys have been wanting a collaboration with FITNESSFAQS. You'd love to see that. So maybe we can get that organised. I don't think it's important to mention I'm in an ice bath.
Hi, you called Dan, but sorry I can't answer the phone. Leave a message and I'll get back.
Do you want to leave a message?
No.
At least you know he's sorry. Yeah.
Well, that wraps up the time in the ice bath anyway. Should we check how warm I've made it?
Yes.
how warm I've made it with all of this.
It's staying around 14 degrees right now.
Yeah. So I've warmed it up about 3 degrees.
You beast.
And now the part where it droops down the dry part of your legs, which feels horrible. So far in terms of injuries, there's nothing bothering me. The only things would maybe be just slight tweaks because the program is quite challenging. I may just get into certain things too quick. I should warm up just a little bit more. I just need to get more deep tissue in there. I feel absolutely and totally deviantly recovered.
I'm just sitting here at my laptop and I've eaten one jelly bean. Log that. I'm gonna now show you all the chewed food from now on. Every vlog I'm like, curry and rice.
The second meal of the day is beef meatloaf. I actually cut it up before I realised I should show you. Lucky, meatloaf's ready. Next meal is some potatoes, carrot, and fish. This isn't 5.4, this is just some leftovers from home. And I'm now in a suit. We're now having a protein shake. This one is Synthesix peanut butter chocolate. It's a blend, so it's got some slow digesting protein like milk protein and casein, as well as some fast digesting like the isolate. This also has a little bit of carbs, so it will sit on the stomach a bit easier as well. Next meal is 5.4 again, the Italian meatballs. There we go. Broccoli and brown rice is there as well. Raisin toast and a glass of milk. Now I've got honey toast with the last 3 fish oil capsules, Greek yogurt with frozen raspberries, and another glass of milk. Good morning. I thought it would also be efficient to log the time of everything I eat. So today is a new day. It is about 2 p.m. and my first meal is hydrolyzed whey protein and creatine monohydrate straight after my training session. Yesterday was a hectic day, so I slept in a little bit and then I didn't eat before I had my workout. So this is the first thing going into my system today. It's now 4:30 and I'm having my first meal. Ideally this shouldn't happen, but I'm going to be aiming to eat some large meals, so I'm still hitting a decent amount of calories for the day. I've got a chicken wrap, we have beef dumplings, and what was this one more time?
Sesame beef.
Sesame beef. It's now about 8:30 and I'm having chicken wraps, which is chicken mince, cherry tomatoes, green onions, cheese, sour cream. I've made 2. I've already had 1, so I'll put a little number up to show how many I had. I'm also having my fish oils, vitamin C's, vitamin D. It's now about 10 o'clock p.m. I'm having 3 chocolate chip cookies, 1 banana strawberry paleo muffin, 2 peanut butter protein balls, and my beta-alanine and creatine. It's now 12:30 p.m. and I'm going to go to bed. Just before, I'm going to have the Combat Protein Powder by Muscle Farm. This is just a sample pack, mainly slow digesting protein. New day, it's 9:15, starting off with oats. Also adding in with that breakfast the fish oils and vitamin D and C, 2 of the protein balls and 1 of the paleo muffins. We're training at Lift today. This isn't a gym that we've shown you guys before, but it's an amazing gym in the heart of the city. It doesn't look like much on the outside, just a garage with some rings, maybe a rope, but we'll show you the setup inside. It's an amazing gym. It's a gym that has a lot of facilities that cater to the type of movements we want to do, talking gymnastics, Olympic lifting, and bodyweight training in general. So we're going to have an awesome workout today doing upper limb trunk strength. Let's go do it.
chin-ups harder than last week, so let's see if that carries over to the dip as well. Dips are still pretty easy. I think it might be the length of the rings throws you off a bit compared to last week. These still feel pretty strong.
Short stack. Had pancakes this morning and that was a short stack.
Yeah. Something I want to explain to you guys, which might have not been obvious. You might be asking, why am I training cross if my goal is full planche, one arm pull, impossible dip and side splits? Where does the one arm iron cross fit into that? It fits in because skills like Maltese and iron cross are longer term goals, and just because I have these shorter term goals for this series doesn't mean that I'm going to neglect those longer term goals. It takes consistent work to achieve them, and they are it's a much more difficult skill, so I still am incorporating elements of that into my training here, and for sure it's going to help with full planche. We're doing our Maltese press to planche. You'll recall last week this was quite difficult to spot. I think we've improved. One of the main problems was I was doing a chest fly more so than Maltese. So I think I've fixed that up. What were you using then?
Probably like 5 kilos on the chest. So that was nice. And then it was pretty good until the last rep it got quite heavy.
I think ideally I'd like a bit more of a spot because there's not as much form breakdown and I still get the rep rather than just struggling through it. So
If you want to take the easy path, mate, okay.
yeah! Doing the back extension between benches. I want the camera here because I want you to see what makes this exercise as hard as it is, and that's keeping the feet together and not letting the ankles or feet splay out. Actually makes it a lot harder keeping it together, but it's so much more beneficial. When I'm in dish shape, it's definitely a good level of resistance against it, but the other way, I need to find something better. Next time we'll be making that a lot harder. seems very obvious that my left side, that second side you saw me do, is a lot stronger.
It's 4:15 and Lachlan and I have just finished our workout at the Lift gym. It was an awesome workout and they've hooked us up with a protein shake afterwards. Coconut water, raspberries and chocolate whey protein.
Did you hear what Tyson just said? Because that's what it is.
Yeah. Finished the workout at Lift. I want to thank Kato, the owner of Lift here, for providing an awesome facility for us to do our workout in today. We've got a few workouts under our belt now, so I found that the workout moved a lot more efficiently and we were able to keep that intensity up going through each exercise. This Lift gym, this is the first, we have been here before, but we haven't trained here before. It was awesome to come in here and train. It's 78 to 80 George Street in Redfern. If you're a Sydney-sider or just travelling through, I highly recommend it. There's so many different facilities that you can use here and it caters for all types of functional training. You'll also get a lovely jumbly straw in your protein shake at the end. I hope to see you very soon actually, Kato.
It's great.
Had a great job. Yeah. And I just, I wasn't aware that Gandhi did the cross.
Gandhi's a pretty avid gymnastics. There's a lot of things about Gandhi that people don't know, and one of them is a bit of a gymnastics freak.
Well, he was quite shredded.
Yeah.
Is that slack? I don't know.
5:36 and this is my next meal. It's a stir fry, beef strips, green beans, broccoli, sweet corn, carrot. I think there might be some capsicum in there as well. Just drove home from Lachlan's. Had to get fuel. These were $2. It was good value. I couldn't resist. Starburst babies and Starburst snakes. Used to be rattlesnakes. I just picked at them on the way home. I'm a failure. Having chicken wraps again tonight. It is 7:50. I'll put up how many I have. This is just how many fit on the plate right now. Now I'm having an ice cream, a golden gay time. If you're not from Australia, yes, these are real and they are delicious. It's about 10 p.m. I had 2 of these peanut butter protein balls and 2 of the paleo muffins. Just had my final 3 fish oils at 11:45. It's about 10 to 12 now. Final meal of the day is protein blend Synthos 6. Good morning, it's 9:30 a.m. and we're having eggs, bacon, some bread and the fish oil, vitamin C and D. It's now 12:40 p.m. and I'm out for most of the day today, so we're having some 5.4 meals. I've got satay chicken. It's now 1:55 p.m. I'm going to have 2 mandarins, 1 banana, a Quest protein bar and an apple. 4:45 p.m. Next meal is chicken sausages with green beans, 5.4. Looking a little white there, but I still should enjoy this. That's sweet potato at the bottom. It's now 8:17 p.m. Just finished an awesome sauna recovery session and I'm having another Quest bar just for that time in between now and when I get home. It is 10 to 10, 9:50 p.m. and I'm having my creatine and beta-alanine mix. It's now 10 p.m. and we've got the stir fry that you saw me have, I think it was yesterday, as well as some canned spaghetti and meatballs, fish oils and 2 pieces of light rye toast. 10:20, having a Twix ice cream. Good morning, everyone. It is bang on midday. I start late today for training, so I got up later. And this is my first meal. We've got 3 buttermilk pancakes, 3 rashers, is that what you say, of maple bacon, and 4 eggs. I do have British heritage, so there's my tea. Got the fish oils, vitamin C, vitamin D, and the water. Keen for this! It is 3:30. It's just occurred to me just now. I'm going to have some combat protein. It was just what was in my bag before the workout, because there may be a long period of time where I'm not eating, and I feel like this will benefit me in addition to the BCAAs that I have during the workout and the post-workout, just so it's not a very, very long time before I have my next protein source. Hey guys, it's come relatively quickly around. We're back here at Olympic Park for our rings play day today. I've been very excited for rings play. Only this morning when I woke up and looked at the calendar, I've got some
Play day.
I've got some exciting plans for it.
You haven't told me this.
Well, the thing is, I'll do it. I don't know if it will come to fruition what I've imagined, but I'm excited to attempt these things.
Wow.
I've built it up too much.
You just
I'm
made
just
me-
gonna do like an L-sit. This was satisfying. Now we're taking NO Explode this time, which is different to last week. We had the gold standard. NO Explode, it is a stimulant pre-workout, but NO, nitric oxide, wants to give you that pump, which I believe is in the L-citrulline malate.
One other very important ingredient it has is the Brilliant Blue FCF.
Yes! I decided to have a protein before training this time, just because the way the session went last workout was, it went so long that I was starving. I wasn't getting the nourishment that my body needed to continue the workout. So this will give a little bit of a boost if the workout goes as long as it did last week. If not, hey, I'm just definitely not going catabolic. I've also got the weights and trunk work capacity, so it's a massive session today, which I love. Let's get into it.
squatting should be right. Pretty much zero spot there.
There's the symbol. We're about half an hour away from getting into a proper intense part of the workout, the rings play. So we are in tradition having our pre-workout. Lachlan's already started his and he's had 2 scoops and that equates to about 400 milligrams of caffeine, he said. Yeah, not ideal.
Oopsie. I read that after I put them in. No, a bit more than that.
Oh, I didn't see you put more.
That's not a full scoop.
You are gonna kill yourself, mate.
Yours weren't full scoops. Because there's so much water that needs to go in Nano Explode, 625 mils, which is pretty much this whole shaker. I assume that you sip it and you don't scull the whole thing because that much water sitting on your stomach just makes you feel bloated and weighted. Tastes alright, not as good as last week's one, but taste is not the ultimate decider. The ultimate decider is how epic does it make your workouts, and we're about to find out.
This is disaster. I just landed on my things. I think at the end of this series we should have worst set ever award. I nominate that one.
Got my first bit of rings play. I know what I want to do. I want to do kip because I've been working on that to support. Still needs to be, quite a few things need to be fixed up. Then I want to try back uprise, which is something I haven't tried for quite a while. Lachlan's going to just give me a bit of coaching advice on that. Then I'll try multis lean. I mean, the idea isn't to plan everything, but also not to make it up as you're up there. You can, but I think it's better to have a little bit of an idea before you go on. Definitely lost strength doing that failed uprise and then just hanging out to muscle up into it. More of a commitment to the back uprise and actually staying stretched out for a longer period of time before going to get up above the rings is going to help. I also just did some minor hamstring stretches, mobility drills to help with the kip. So as long as I can commit to it, that should improve a bit now. That felt much better.
chiropracted my back. So you know how people hang from a bar and like twist their torso to get that spine? Yeah, I just went from 0 to 100 doing that in the swing.
I'm going to bring Lachlan over and he's just going to coach me through some ring swings. I feel like getting a better, higher ring swing will help towards that back uprise.
So try and keep your hips in that tight. Yeah, good. More heel drive at the back. More heel drive at the back and tight core. Core's a bit loose. Better. More heel drive. Inlocate earlier. Main critique is you're a bit like that. Rather
Bit
than,
arch my back.
rather than like, you do
Right.
want to have it like you're doing a heel drive, but not like this.
Yeah.
More like tight everything. And you want to inlocate really early. So you inlocate and then keep your shoulders down while your heels drive up first. And then once they get to like 45 degrees, they start raising with your whole body.
It's very important, guys, with arm bend. Even now I know how important it is, and sometimes the arm tries to take over and bend for you. You always have to be astute in picking that up.
I didn't warn you guys beforehand. Many apologies for that.
I just tried to do a cross as low as I could without a false grip. Oh, like the old elbows are gonna snap. I felt a little crack in there, and the effort started to get really intense. Yeah, something popped in the arm.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Whereabouts?
just in there.
In a bad way?
So I came out of it just in case.
So you're okay, right?
Oh, feels a little bit off.
I'm hurt. Yeah. So you'll notice after that iron cross that you saw, the last one, where I went into false grip, I seem to jump out of the rings because I heard a pop in the forearm, and from not really ever happening to me, but hearing about people that have had tears and strains, it's associated with a pop. So as soon as I heard it, I thought the worst. Oh no. Luckily my bicep hadn't ran up my arm, which I guess is the ultimate fear, is that complete tear of the bicep tendon. It appears to be with the flexion like that, so from the false grip, exactly from the false grip, but it does seem to feel wrong engaging the arm in anything. So I didn't have any DOMs, I didn't feel fatigued, nothing felt wrong. The only telltale sign is the fact that I haven't done a false grip cross for a while. I'm going to continue the workout for today with trunk work capacity. Skipping the weight session. I actually wanted to increase the weight, but that'll have to hold off for a little bit. And then I'll finish it off with the mobility and exercises that I'm doing for the side splits.
It's a really good example, as annoying as this is, how you need to be smart when you're training and patient and exercise self-control. One session is not worth the risk of making this, hopefully completely minor occurrence, an actual injury.
Forearm wise is pretty much involved in everything. That's why for trunk work capacity, I'll be leaving out the wipers where I have to hang from the bar, just because I want to totally avoid putting any more strain on this tonight, and to just control any swelling if there will be any, and speed up the recovery as much as possible. Almost a humbling thing that happened, and the positive out of it is I tweaked something, I've mentioned this before, in my groin when I added weight just a week or two ago for the side splits. And there was also something else which I can't recall that happened within this last week where I pushed something when I wasn't ready. And this is the third thing. So even though, like I said, there was no sign that I shouldn't try the false grip cross, except for the fact I haven't done a false grip cross. There was no DOMs, there was no soreness here, but perhaps I need to try and take my ego a little bit out of my approach at the moment, because there's been 3 incidents in the last month where I've pushed myself too far because I'm getting too eager with certain things. I think it's because I recently turned 25 and my clock's running out. I'll be in a coffin soon, so I've got to get all the skills now. No, so it's a humbling thing, and what I've learned from it is to take things a bit slower than I am. It can be hard to swallow, but you really don't want to be that guy that pushed it to the point where they can't return to what they love to do.
Because I'm not doing the wipers as part of this superset because of the forearm strain. I'm going to do a minute of the leg lifts instead of 30 seconds.
Okay, let's go. I'll tell you when you're at 30 and then a minute. It's like you're slowly making your way to the kitchen there, mate.
Gonna grab my meal. Unfortunately, we have to skip the side bridge with the little pumps, the sexy one. And because it's putting pressure on the forearm, even for balance. So I'm moving to the next core. 30 seconds. It's strange because when I've got my arms up by my head in the full dish shape, it feels like I'm not holding that perfect shape, like there's an arch developing in my back, which is certainly not ideal when you're doing this kind of work. When I bring the arms down to by my side, that makes it easier so I can smash that perfect technique, but it feels too easy. So I need to find something in the middle of that. We're down to the last exercise of the night. This is for my goal, my mobility goal of the side splits. Now this will be a superset. I've shown you the active stretch I'm doing for side splits. I'll be doing that and supersetting it with an exercise that I got from FITNESSFAQS. He actually has a tutorial on the horse stance, which I've now incorporated into my side split training. I haven't found any straight crossover to helping with the side splits. I found just the active stretch more beneficial, but I completely understand the premise behind incorporating horse stance.
which is it's difficult to hold that position in the groin. So strengthening that can only be more beneficial to leading towards the side splits this way, because it's strengthening the groin muscle, and when you're going into it, they need to be quite strong to support your body weight. Another thing I'm going to be incorporating from the video is having the stick on my lap as a guide to show me I've got an upright torso. If the stick happens to fall off, that means I've changed the angle and I'm not getting the most out of the exercise. This is another one where I've learned, you don't want to push it. You want to do what is challenging, but not too much of a strain on the groin muscles here. Obviously try and keep an upright torso as well. Don't lean over into it. That's 30. That's 30. That's quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. Alright. 1 minute. Usually my legs are pretty shaky by the end of this. Don't let your hands rest on your knees for support. Keep them out in front or by the sides. And you need to keep an upright chest so that this stick doesn't roll. The stick's actually round, so it's very sensitive to a change in angle, which is beneficial. That's it. That was easier than I thought, so that means I can possibly go a bit deeper for the next one. You don't want to be failing on that though. So thanks Daniel for the horse stance exercise. Those two will be the staple at the moment to achieve the side splits. So much better than your passive stretch.
It's now 10:45 p.m. This has been my worst day, I'm sorry guys. Still getting used to the epic Saturday session and the timing. So I was sipping BCAAs during that session, as well as the pre-workout that you saw, but I'm not having a post-workout shake. I want some actual food in me, given it's been so long since I ate. We're having beef stroganoff by 5.4 meals. Looking forward to this one. Looks pretty simple. Simple is what I like. Luckily, I'm not having the meatloaf.
Lucky.
Sorry, man.
Lucky, huh? Yes. I don't know, I'm pretty happy with how I get served the meatloaf.
It's actually been a hectic day where eating has been terrible. It's 3 a.m. and it doesn't look like I'm going to get to a good meal anytime soon, so I'm having a Quest bar to hold me over. It is 5:30 a.m. and I've just made pretty much the same thing I made yesterday morning, but it looks a lot worse and there's less. Probably something to do with the no sleep, but it all goes the same eventually. Anyway, I apologize guys, I must be so tired from only the 3 hours, but I guess that's no excuse. I finished this and then realized I'd forgotten to vlog what it was. It was Spanish rice with chorizo. I've got more at home which I'll be eating, so you'll get to see actually what it looks like, but that's what I had at 1 p.m. Also had my fish oils, vitamin C, vitamin D, and this morning I had my beta-alanine and creatine mix. It is approximately 5 p.m. We're having enchilada pulled beef. It didn't arrive like that, I mixed it already. It's now 11:15 p.m. and this is the same meal that I didn't show you this morning because I wasn't thinking and I ate it. This is the Spanish rice. You can see the chorizo, chicken and rice. I'm also going to have my other 3 fish oils as well, totaling 6 for the day. It's 11:25 and now I'm having dessert, which is ginger cake and custard. It's 11:30 a.m. I'm having more of that Spanish rice, the chorizo, the chicken, tomato, capsicum, and also got the fish oils, vitamin C, vitamin D. It's now 2 p.m. I'm having my second meal of the day. This is 5.4 meals, so chicken, sausages, green beans, and sweet potato. And to help me feel a bit more satisfied in terms of carbs, I've added sushi, chicken and tuna, and avocado. It's so difficult to get used to vlogging your food. You don't, when you're hungry, automatically think, oh, I better get the camera out first. So it's happened again. It's approximately 4:50 p.m. and I've had the banana, I've had an apple, then I made the realization, why aren't you vlogging this? So I've got the camera out, I'm gonna have the mandarin and the rest of that ginger cake. 7:30, having dinner, beef sausages, cannellini and leek bake, and spinach leaves. And no, it's not for you. 7:45 p.m, Madeira cake with custard and salted caramel topping. Energy bar, coconut, almond meal, chia seeds, just lots of stuff. 8 p.m, beta-alanine, creatine, and 3 fish oil. So I'm not too sure what the time is now. I've pretty much just been eating everything in succession. But how could I do a full week of eating without purchasing my favorite, one of my favorite foods? Obviously I don't have this much, maybe like 3 times a week. No, I'm joking. Not that many. So I've got a good selection here, and this is all for me. That wraps up week 2, which went relatively fast. I felt I started to adapt a lot more along the way to all those ring sequences and gymnastics specific workouts. Unfortunately, there was that injury trying the false grip iron cross, where I felt that really prominent pop in the forearm. It made me hold back on the ring sequences for today's workout. I just stuck with some mobility, particularly I got focused on the pancake, which I was really happy with. I haven't been able to do that for a while now.
Everybody likes pancakes.
And I did the side splits again, and then I was able to finish it off with the trunk strength. I hope you really enjoyed week 2 with the entire week of eating. I feel relatively proud of what I ate to show you. It was just this last 2 days kind of got screwed over, and I'm a little embarrassed. I definitely could have eaten better, but I'm being honest with you guys, that can happen to me every now and then. I'll prioritize something else over eating, and it will screw up the cycle for a bit. But I do just aim to eat a lot when I do actually eat. I interestingly didn't find the 5.4 meals to be very filling having them. Yeah, it was, I told Lachlan, and Lachlan slapped me upside the face. No, I told Lachlan, and he said that it might be because there's not as many carbs as I'm used to, which could have some truth to it, because I was craving like breads, pasta, cakes, donuts, 13% body fat. You'll see I don't count calories, I'm just eating what's available to me, and I try and eat a lot of it. What did you guys think of my diet? I'm really interested to know if you just hate it, if you're, that's not organic, that's not this, that's not that. I don't mind. I want to hear any criticisms or feedback, because it will help me improve the diet. Or maybe you think I'm doing a bang on good job eating jelly babies on the way home from Sydney. I hope you found it insightful to see the type of training that I'm doing and the type of food that I'm eating to fuel those training sessions. You can compare it to your own diet. Week 1, we focused on the program. Week 2, we've shown you the nutrition. Week 3, next week, we're going to be focusing on recovery. Now this is everything we're doing after the workout and before the workouts to help prepare the muscles, to help heal them, to help mend them and get them ready for each consecutive workout. We'll be showing you deep tissue massage, we'll be showing you ice baths, we'll be showing you our compression apparel recovery. It'll all be there, and we'll explain when we do it,
and why.
And sauna. Yeah, I love the sauna.
So tune in next week for week 3 for everything you need to know about recovery. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already to receive these videos every week directly into your feeds. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week. Well, to be honest, you could have been a bit funnier in that.
Sorry. I thought the pancake thing was pretty good. Huh?